Okay, we're back.
Yes.
Yeah, so like we said before, Mr. Juan Cavrera will be with us here in a few minutes, after our traditional let's talk about things we do here.
Yes. Let's talk about life. Just
Yeah,
kidding.
talk about life, Latino stuff. Well, actually, one thing we should really talk about
hmm
is the fact that, like I mentioned before, he's going to be performing this Saturday at Feria del Mariachi.
Yes. Feria del Mariachi. That's such a great event. I know that I got to be part of it. As a student, and I loved that we got to accompany so many. We got to accompany big known artists. Big artists that really have made an impact. And as a student, I really enjoyed it. As a director, I got to do it virtually. So I really hold Feria del Mariachi close to my heart. So it's a nice one.
Yeah. So, what Feria del Mariachi is, for those of you guys who might not know it, that's kind of the end of the year concert celebration that the
hmm
Texas State Mariachi does. Other years, it's really big. They have workshops, and then they have a competition for high school and middle school groups, and then they also have, of course, the concert that ends the whole event. This specific year, coming off of COVID and all that, they're just rebuilding. This will be the first time it's been
hmm
live in like 2 years.
Yeah.
So they're just doing a concert. They're not going to do workshops or competition or anything, just a concert. But they're focusing all their energies on that concert because not only are they featuring master like Juan Cabrera on
hmm
the harp, but it also coincides with the 25th anniversary of mariachi even being at Texas State University.
Beautiful.
So this is the 25th anniversary. It started in 1997, the
hmm
mariachi, not Feria del Mariachi, but the mariachi. And so this is 25 years. They asked me to put together like a video
hmm
of kind of telling the history of the mariachi and all that. So that's going to be fun. I'm going to be working on that for the, you know, next few days, getting it ready for Saturday,
Yeah.
because it's just a lot to put together. It's not going to be much. The video won't be much above a PowerPoint presentation, but at least it'll have a lot of good information.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a PowerPoint that's covering 25 years. Which, by the way, I'm older than Mariachi at Texas State by 1 year.
Okay, good. Well, there it is.
Sorry.
No, good,
So
good.
yeah, so no, and it started so long ago, and just in the time that I was there, and knowing how the group was before I was there, and what it is now, it has evolutionized. It has changed so much. So seeing that all encapsulated into a video that's going to show all of that, I'm excited to see that, and I know other people are going to be really excited to see that as well.
Yeah, and it'll be, even though there's so much that could be told. Obviously, I'm going to be hitting the highlights.
hmm
So it's going to be a 5 minute video. That's going to have to, in 5 minutes, I got to tell a 25-year story as best as I can. So it'll be brief. It'll be something that anyone can take in.
hmm
5 minutes is nothing to sit in and hear about all that. So we're going to be talking about a lot of the ensemble successes, and of course some of the Feria de Mariachi stories.
hmm
Like Feria de Mariachi is not as old as the Texas State Mariachi, but it's had its history.
hmm
It's just a few years younger because I think it started in '99 or 2000, somewhere around there. And back then it was called Fiesta del Mariachi, and it was started by a student leader that we had back then. His name was Frank De Leon, and he's the one that started Fiesta del Mariachi. But in 2003, when the ensemble became faculty taught and all that, somewhere in those years we changed it to Feria del Mariachi and we moved it to late spring.
mm
So one of the reasons why we changed it to Feria is because San Antonio has a fiesta thing,
Yeah.
and so we wanted to kind of not confuse people and all that. So we changed it to Feria del Mariachi because it was late spring. Anyway, during the history of this event, we've had some really cool experiences. I don't know if you've ever seen it. Have you ever seen that 2009 video of Feria Mariachi?
I've heard about it, but I haven't seen it.
So that was probably the one of the biggest. I don't want to say the biggest name because everybody really that we brought in has a
Yes.
name. We brought him in for a certain thing, but definitely somebody that had a lot of star power with him, and that was Pedro Fernandez, Pedrito Fernandez, Pedro Fernandez. We had somebody on our committee that year that just, her name was Dr. Cindy Chapa. She had just came to Texas State as a faculty member, and she came from some university where they had a Latino media markets degree, and then she came to Texas State, and that's what they were starting, Latino media markets. And where she came from in a professional setting, she had a lot of contact with a lot of these big artists. And so I remember the first committee, she goes, hey, why don't we bring in like Pedro Fernandez? And we're all like, what are you talking about?
First of all, do you have Pedro Fernandez money? Because I don't.
Exactly. We're just like, we're not going to be able to afford. And she's like, no. What we do is we present him with a big award. Artists like him, at his level, yes, they like the money, but they like the recognition, the prestige. They'll do that for that. They'll come if they're receiving, especially when you're a Mexican artist receiving a prestigious award from somebody in the United States, that carries a lot of weight.
Because I was recognized in the U.S., so I'm special. So.
Exactly.
Well, I'm just exaggerating, but like it's in that sense.
We worked it out, and we got him here, and we flew him in, and all that was great. What blew my mind, absolutely blew my mind. Well, first of all, before I get to that, we had worked up 2 songs to accompany him, because after we gave him his award, he was going to sing 2 songs with us.
Yes.
But he's Pedro Fernandez.
Yes.
We weren't going to be able to get a rehearsal with him. I mean, he flew in the day of. He went to eat dinner. He went to the dressing room, and the next time I saw him was really when he was on the side of the stage.
He's like, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. And so we didn't get a rehearsal with him. So what we did is we just learned the songs exactly the way on the recording, and just hoped to God that he was going to just do it like that.
Oh, dang. I mean, like, it's so, if people don't really know, it's so important. If you're going to be backing up somebody, that you know exactly how they're going to sing it, or at least some tendencies that they have, because if they want to hold a note longer than the other one, you better hope that you're going to be sitting on that chord for a really long time and know when to switch, or else it just crumbles.
And I've been in those situations, and we'll talk about that in a second. That's a different crazy Feria Mariachi story. But luckily, Pedro Fernandez was 100% on with exactly the way we did it. So cool. He was on, and his performance was great. Now to the thing that blew me away. Okay. Leading up to Pedro Fernandez coming to Feria Mariachi that year, I was constantly getting phone calls there in the office. It's like, hey, is Pedro Fernandez really coming? Like, the Pedro Fernandez? And I was like, yeah, he's coming. I mean, I think people thought I was going to have some guy named Pedro Fernandez walk out with his ID. I am Pedro Fernandez. But no. I said, the Pedrito Fernandez. He's going to be here with us. They couldn't believe it because I was such a huge name. So, the stadium started filling up. I mean, people were coming.
And now Feria del Mariachi is at the is it Patty Harrison?
Yeah, the Patty Strickle Harrison Theater.
It's now there, and it used to be at the Embassy Suites, right? At one point.
It was at the Embassy Suites, but the Pedro Fernandez one was at Strahan Coliseum.
Which is huge, and I don't know how much exactly the Strahan seats, but it's a coliseum. That's where the basketball games are held.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we would basically we seat like one side of it. But still, it seats 7,000 people.
Yeah.
So we're talking about 3,500 seats that we have to fill up, which is bigger than any of the auditoriums we have.
Yeah.
But people started pouring in because of the name, Pedro Fernandez. And so, anyway, so we have all the winners and all that, and Tech State comes out. And finally, we bring him out to sing his 2 songs. I mean, to receive the award. Mm-hmm. And as soon as he starts singing, the first song we did with him was that...
Yo no fui?
Yo no fui. I couldn't remember. Yes, the first song we did with him was Yo no fui, and which was a big hit for him. Mm-hmm. And as soon as that beat started with the saxophones come in, the audience exploded. And we were completely unprepared for it because, we've done college concerts and all that. We don't have security. We didn't have like a gate in the front to make sure people don't cross. Next
We
thing you
got
know, these
sued.
I'm serious. We could have. People were ladies, 50-year-old ladies were jumping the seats and rushing the stage. I couldn't believe it. It was blowing my mind. It's on YouTube. If you type up, Feria del Mariachi 2009.
Old
Pedro
ladies running
Fernandez.
to Pedro Fernandez.
Exactly.
Make sure that you Google it just like that.
You Google that, you'll see it. It's insane. I mean, he exploded the audience, and he only sang 2 songs. And the amount of energy this man puts into his performance.
Yeah.
I mean, just the entire room. I mean, he filled up an entire coliseum with energy. He had this thing where he would jump straight up and down.
Oh, yes, where he does, yeah.
Yeah, he does that jump. And, I was playing on that song because I was playing timbales on Yo No Fui, so I was kind of behind him. And when he would jump, I mean, you would feel that stage was like, rocking, boom, boom, and I was kind of thinking the stage was going to go down, but it didn't.
You're like, we're going down right now.
This whole thing is going down. It was amazing. Probably one of the coolest things we ever did at Feria del Mariachi. We brought a lot of great people in, but that, as far as a performance, was electric. It was so electric, actually, that Texas State Mariachi back in those days. The Texas State Mariachi, we didn't headline the thing. So Pedro Fernandez came in, but because we brought him in, Texas State brought him in, we had him perform with Texas State Mariachi. However, we weren't the headlining. We had another group headlining. Los Arrieros del Valle were the headlining mariachi. And so we were opening up for Los Arrieros, and Pedro Fernandez sang with us. So Marcos Garcia told me that the Arrieros guys were in the Coliseum when they heard Pedro was going to perform. They went in the Coliseum to watch, and he said that all of them were looking at each other like, "Oh my God, we're the headlining act. We're the headlining act, and this one man is just blowing doors." So they went backstage, and they're like, "We're going to have to step up like we've never stepped up."
Oh my God!
And believe me, they did. They came out on fire. So the show continued to be electric, because they were trying to meet the challenge, a challenge that Pedro Fernandez himself would have, because he challenged Texas State too. Our students were completely unprepared for that. Yeah. We never had a rehearsal with him, so we were totally unprepared, including me, all of us. That was one of the most electric things. One of the most electrifying performances I've ever been in, probably in my entire life.
Dang. I wish 2009, I was not living near here. I wish I could have seen that. But
what grade were you in 2009?
2009. Do we really want to go there? 2009, I was in 8th grade.
8th grade. Oh my God.
8th grade.
Well,
we love 8th grade. Right?
Yeah, 8th grade. I don't have fond memories of 8th grade, but it's okay. Different people are... But
you're like, it's okay.
Now let's go the exact opposite and talk about one of our less enjoyable Feria del Mariachi's story. Let me tell you that story.
Yes, I need to hear this story.
So I won't mention the artist's name because it wasn't. There was a lot of reasons why this went down the way it went down. So I don't want to mention the artist's name. However,
I think I know this story.
Yeah. However, this one artist was supposed to come in on Thursday, and we had scheduled this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday thing with him. Where Thursday he was going to attend this event that we had, and then Friday he had a different, like a dinner gala that we are going to do, and then Saturday he was going to supposed to do the concert, and all this we were going to have rehearsals with him and all that, because I didn't want another Pedrito Fernandez situation, as electric and awesome as that was. I didn't want another thing where we never performed with that artist. I was a little scared. And so we wanted to bring him in, and we had set this thing up. But then all of a sudden he wound up getting sick. And he couldn't come in. And I would call him on Thursday, "Hey, well, I'm feeling better." But so I was starting to wonder. He's like, no, don't worry. I'll be there at the concert. So, I give him this. He did show up to the concert, but he literally flew in. The concert starts at 7:30. He flew into San Antonio at 6 p.m.
What?
San Antonio was an hour away.
Exactly. And then plus with traffic at that time?
At that traffic and getting out of the airport. And the concert started at 7:30. And we were at the Strahan Coliseum. This is one of our one of our Embassy Suites concerts. And so We had hired somebody to be down there and pick him up and bring him in and take him straight to the hotel. So he walks in, and he kind of has a little bit of a little bit of a germaphobe thing. So he walks in, he has a mask on, he has gloves on, he looked like Michael Jackson, and
a little Mexican Michael Jackson.
Exactly, it was a little weird. But if he was sick, then good for you. You got your mask on.
Maybe he knew about COVID back in the day.
Yeah, pre-COVID.
Too soon.
And then he goes and checks it. I mean, the concert's already on. Mm-hmm. The middle schools were already on. Now by that time, we had already made the switch that Texas State Mariachi was going to be the headlining act. Mm-hmm. So Texas State Mariachi starts performing, and he's still changing his room, and then he finally comes down, and we never got a chance to rehearse with him or anything. He gets on stage, and we had worked up this song for him, Granada. I can say the song. We had worked up Granada.
Wait a second. Wait a second.
Yes. Yes. I can imagine what you're probably laughing about.
No, because I was there. So I already know who this is, so we will just leave it there. But did he not want a hat?
Okay, first of all, there's that.
Yeah,
so let's talk about that. So I find out when we're there.
Sorry.
Saturday when we're there, somebody comes up to me and says, "Hey, Pedro wants to know where his hats are." Pedro, not Pedro. I said, "You're artist." Yeah. Pedro was different. So he wants to know where his hats are.
Yeah.
I was like, "What are you talking about?" He said he mailed his sombreros to Texas State. Like, I said, "Well, nobody told me." And it's Saturday, and Texas State is like my house. Texas State has a warehouse, mm-hmm. So it's probably stuck in the warehouse, and I don't have access to the warehouse on a Saturday night, mm-hmm. And so we didn't have so I one of the committee members. There was one of the high school groups were coming out the stage, and one of the committee members said, "Hey, you right there, give me your hat." Just took some high school kid's hat, and that was his hat for the show because he needed a hat. That was part of his shtick. He needed the hat.
Hey, yo, give me your hat.
You right there, give me your hat. I mean, that's what it was. I mean, at that point, we were in emergency mode. We were in just whatever it took because the whole thing was in jeopardy going down. Mm-hmm. And then we get to Granada, and he gets up on stage and does Granada, and he does like the exact opposite of what like a Pedro Fernandez did. Pedro Fernandez kept it simple, kept it the way the recordings are, but he wanted to be a little more. He wanted more embellishing. Mm-hmm. So he gets up there and starts doing these like long rubato lines that we had no idea he was going to do. We didn't know. So we're just. I mean, at some point in Granada, like towards the end of the song, there's just the group stops and the singer sings a long note, and then the singer's supposed to do a cue to bring everybody back in. But he starts doing this crazy long passage, and the mariachi's like doesn't know what to do. I'm off to the side of the stage, and I'm trying to get. I believe it was Julian. Yes. I believe Julian was a section leader of the violins. I was like, "Start it up!" I was like yelling from the side of the stage.
I was there, and that year was. Oh, can I get his specifics? Because I don't know. People might pinpoint who this person is. It was during the All-State Mariachi. Mm. And so Rigoberto was there.
Rigoberto Alfaro was there running the All-State Mariachi.
Yes.
And Rigoberto Alfaro ran down to the stage.
I literally saw him, and he was just like trying to conduct him, and he was on the side of the stage like trying to do whatever he could. And I was just like, what is going on?
Yeah. Were you in that All-State group?
Yes, I was.
Oh, okay.
The first year.
That was the first year of the All-State group. Yes. So you were in high school still.
Yeah.
I mean, we couldn't believe it. We were sweating bullets. And then
after that, you have to do your own show.
Yes.
Oh,
and
that's the worst.
And then we had to go and do our own show. So luckily, except for that Granada, which had that weird stuff in it, except for that, the other pieces went okay. We got him off the stage. I mean, don't get me wrong. The audience loved him. Mm-hmm. I mean, whenever a singer is being accompanied from the group and there's something weird, mm-hmm. Everybody just assumes the group sucks.
Exactly.
Not the singer. Everybody assumes something's wrong with the group. So for his part, everybody said great job, and he got off the stage. And after that, we had another 20 minutes to kind of redeem ourselves performance-wise, which the group did. I think the group did a great job. So overall, it came out to be a good experience. However, that was the craziest, nerve-wracking experience that I had with Feria del Mariachi.
Yeah, I mean.
And you were there. I forgot you were there.
I was there.
A senior?
I was a senior, and then, well, you can cut this out. The kid that was told, "Hey, you give me that hat," actually ended up going to Texas State.
That's right. He did. That's right. He did. And I wonder, that was his high school hat, though, I imagine.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I wonder if you took it home and hung it on the wall.
No, he didn't.
So,
yes.
But anyway, those are just a couple of Feria Mariachi stories that stick out in my head. Other great times that we've had. When we brought Jose Hernandez in one year.
Yes, you did.
Who else? For an MC.
Bernie.
Yeah.
Ernie.
Ernie. Yeah, Ernie.
From George Lopez.
Yeah, the George Lopez show, Ernie.
Yes.
Valente Rodriguez. He was the MC for a couple years.
Did you have John Quinones?
Did I have John Quinones?
I feel like he was there.
Maybe.
No, wait. We played a performance with Texas State, and John Quinones was there, and we took a picture with him.
That's right.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, but I feel like we had seen John Quinones.
Now, the Valente Rodriguez years, when we brought him as an MC, that was a funny story too, because this is nothing to do with Feria Mariachi, but my little niece, Vianza, she came and she was so excited. She wanted to meet Valente. She wanted to meet him. She wanted to take a picture with him. And my brother was telling me, she's really psyched up. So I was thinking to myself, wow, she really knows him from George Lopez and all that. But no, it had nothing to do with George Lopez. It had nothing to do with his character, Ernie, on George Lopez. Apparently, he was doing something with Selena Gomez at the time. And so my niece wanted to be next to somebody that was next to Selena Gomez at some point.
That pobrecito.
That's what
That's so
he's
sad.
like, oh my God. Instead of saying, oh my God, you're Valente, she's like, oh my God, you know Selena Gomez?
She told him that?
No. I'm sure that's what it went through her mind. But she was really excited about meeting Valente, but it was for that reason, not for George Lopez, Ernie reason.
No, I know him from Ernie. But, man, these crazy stories, I swear. But we're really excited to hear from Mr. Juancito Cabrera.
Yes.
Again, he'll be performing at Feria del Mariachi this Saturday.
Yes. And so about that, if you want to buy tickets for Feria del Mariachi, like if you're in Austin, San Antonio, San Marcos, Central Texas area, you can buy tickets at Texas State Presents, TexasStatePresents.com. You can buy tickets there. But if you're too far away, you can watch it. It'll be live streamed, and you just go to TexasStatePresents.com as well.
And we'll link it also in the description, so you can also click the link wherever you're listening to it, and we'll share it on our social media pages. But yes, get your tickets. Feria del Mariachi is always a fun event, and lots of great music and lots of great performances. And like I said, Juan Cavrera is going to be featured this year, and he's just an outstanding musician and performer. So. All
right. Well, I guess let's get to his interview.
Yes.
It's going to be fun to get to know him. I want to know how he started playing the harp, what influenced him, where his background comes from, because like I said, I've seen him perform. He's unbelievable. So I want to get to know this man and get to know his art.
Yes. So with that being said,
all right, let's get started with that.